The content you are about to hear may be graphic.
Better? It's better, yeah.
Good.
Trying to figure out lighting, you guys. We're in a new apartment,
We got it.
So we don't have to record in the car anymore.
This is much better.
We did a tour of our apartment. If you guys haven't checked it out.
It's pretty awesome looking.
Tommy and me.
As usual.
So, today I'm going to start out with my favorite dog breed. Has a stigma that is completely untrue. So we're going to talk about the pit bulls. Let's see here.
And that back a little bit so we can see it. And just bend some of these behind it. Better? Yeah?
Kind of. Hey, you guys, we're just starting to figure out how we're doing this. Okay. So, the real pit bull, the symbol of America used to be, is the original APBT. Courage, honor, braveness, freedom, code, legacy, heritage, endurance, relentless, never giving up. Those are short words to describe the real American Pit Bull Terrier. Created with the honor for over 100 years of selecting the most docile, loving dogs that also possess strength and courage. The APBT was the symbol of American during the Great Depression, during World War I and World War II. Times for being a man was being like a pit bull, honorable, courteous, and yet solid and unbreakable. This below here is everything.
Now, are these like stories? Or is that about you?
Oh wait, that's right, you were gonna read those.
Read the next part. Technical difficulties again.
I have owned many pit bulls over the years, or pits, all very sweet and kind. Every day I see an article about a dog attack. They never mention a breed unless it is a pit. All dogs can attack, all dogs can kill. It is about how you raise them and how you treat them. There is only so many times you bother any dog till they snap. You can't buy a dog from a shelter and not expect them to have a hard time getting used to a loud noise and kids running around and screaming. A dog can attack once and never do it again. I just hope that this opens some people's eyes about how wonderful these big babies are.
So, if you believe the news reports, humans are under attack everywhere from pit bulls. You probably also know that this is supposedly so bad that communities have been forced to adopt bans on pit bulls, Rottweilers, and other large dogs.
And Dobermans. Genetically speaking, a pit bull may have some aggressive tendencies in their bloodline, as may Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers, and variety of shepherd breeds.
All breeds can and do attack, as they are domestication of select breeding of the wolf.
No one knows for sure what the pit bull originated or what even constitutes a pit bull.
There are 4 breeds that are commonly classified as the modern pit bull type breeds, but AKC, UKC breed standards. Most are members of the terrier group of dog breeds.
The American Pit Bull Terrier, APBT, is the largest and most athletic of the 4 pit bull type breeds.
The American Staffordshire Terrier is slightly shorter and stockier than the APBT.
The Staffordshire Bull Terrier is easily the smallest of the 4.
The American Bully, not to be confused with the American Bulldog, is the most unique of the group, as it's the most stout and closely resembles the classic Bulldog breed.
Colloquially, any dog that is raised and trained for dog fighting, which is a horrible and so-called sport that have talked about in another blog. Well, that was taken from another thing. Shouldn't have said that. Can be called a pit bull. So technically, Dobermans, English Mastiff, English Bulldogs, Corsos, which let's see, Dogo Argentinos, Persia Canera, and many other breeds could also be termed as pit bulls. Since we are talking about breed specifics here, though, we will consider only the 3 AKC recognized dogs.
As to origin, pit bulls probably descended from the ancient Greek breed, the Molossus, which is now extinct.
They began as herding and guard dogs and were also used in war.
Pit bull type, I can't talk today. Pit bull type dogs are a crossbreed between a bulldog and a terrier originally bred in England in the early 19th century, then called bull and terriers to be working dogs on farms to herd, protect, and manage livestock.
Stop. While their early history is complex and includes herding cattle and protecting homesteads, it also, unfortunately, includes the cruel sports of bullfighting and dogfighting.
However, these cruel sports were not specific to today's pit bull type breeds. Many different breeds were subjected to these activities, which are now illegal almost everywhere.
During the 20th century, pit bull type dogs quickly became one of America's most popular family dogs, to the extent that they may have national mascots and were used on recruitment posters for World Wars I and II, and were proudly called America's dog.
More recently, their popularity has continued to grow to an estimated 20% of the total dog population in the U.S. All pit bull type dogs and mixes combined, and are successful as service dogs, as therapy dogs, as canine police dogs, as family pets, and consistently achieve excellent temperament scores.
You might be surprised to know that before 1980, there was no records of, I guess, people being attacked by pit bulls.
I read a article on Facebook just yesterday, in fact. This pit bull, their house caught on fire, and this pit bull grabbed their baby by the diaper and dragged it outside.
Yeah.
Freaking saved the baby. Like, if it was a monster, it wouldn't do that. It would let it die. You know? Or be like, oh, free food.
Right.
But they didn't.
They're not needed.
It pulled it outside. I think that's awesome. It's how you raise them. Where am I? Here? In fact, if you were to pick up a magazine from the 1960s or 70s that contained ads for pet dogs, you would overwhelmingly see the Amstaff, the American Pit Bull Terrier, and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier advertised as wonderful family dogs that were very devoted and good with children.
Historically, the name pit bull was an informal and slang term that was used to describe any dog that was used for cruel a sport of bull baiting, using dogs of any breed to seize tethered animals such as bulls within an enclosed area called a pit, thus the term pit bull.
While many different breeds and mixes were used for this sport, dogs that resembled today's bully breeds were commonly used. It was not an activity limited to today's pit bull type breeds. In other words, pit bull was more of a term used to describe any dog that was used for bull baiting, and less of a term used to describe a specific breed or type of dog. Technically, if a husky had been used for baiting a bull in a pit, it would have been considered a pit bull back then.
Furthermore, baiting is not an inherited trait for any breed. It's an activity that must be taught and honored and honed. No different than training a dog to sit or fetch.
Today, the term pit bull is a generic term used to loosely describe a type of or category of dog based only on its physical appearances, not on genetics or lineage. resembling any medium-sized dog with physical traits from any of the numerous bully type or bulldog type breeds.
So big muscles, big head. They look tough, which they're not that tough. I mean, they can be tough, but just like the bark is worse than their bite.
Most of the time.
Alright.
Bottom.
While the American Pit Bull Terrier is the only formal breed with the term pit bull in its name, over 20 unique breeds and even more mixed breeds share the same or similar physical characteristics that are common to dogs in the pit bull type category.
In fact, a recent comprehensive peer-reviewed canine DNA study determined that 98% of dogs visually identified as pit bull type dogs are in fact mixed breeds, not purebred. Additionally, the majority of the pit bull type dogs in the study had less than 50% DNA from any pit bull type ancestry from any of the pit bull type breeds identified above.
They've all been bred multiple different ways and multiple different. The pit bull ancestry has been bred out of the current pit bull. There were no calls for breed bans and nothing to suggest that pit bulls were any more dangerous than any other poorly trained, badly supervised dog.
I don't know why. As of 1986, more than 30 communities in the United States were considering pit bull bans.
It happened because of criminals who wanted to own large breeds and train them to be vicious. You know, because they look so tough, because they've got so much muscle, and they're so lean.
In short, it happened because of drug dealers.
These dogs were inbred to encourage mental instability and then abused to the point when they could lash out at anyone, and everyone.
It wasn't the fault of the dogs, it was the fault of the people who misused them. And instead of blaming the people who were breeding improperly and torturing the dogs, the knee-jerk reaction was to place a ban on the breed.
From time immemorial,
Remember,
it has been sufficient to change and punish people who deliberately kept vicious dogs, but in response to a public outcry over what was actually very few attacks, all attribute to bad owners, it was deemed easier to punish a good breed.
most likely to be bitten by one of these breeds, Dachshund, Chihuahua, and the Jack Russell Terrier. Oh.
Little dogs are more vicious.
Oh, basically they're saying most likely you'd be bitten by one of the smaller ones than by one of the bigger
Trust me,
ones.
if you see the Chihuahua go crazy.
Every time I've been around wiener dogs, they bite the shit out of my ankles. Like,
And they've actually, I read a story.
and I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, I read a story. This little girl got attacked by a herd, or I guess a pack of Chihuahuas, and actually got very seriously hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, a little dog can hurt you very seriously.
Just as much as a big one. Yeah.
Real pit bulls are not bred for size, yet the size is still important.
Males 32 to 55 pounds condition are the ideal sizes.
Females 32 to 44 pounds condition are the ideal sizes for the female.
A recent peer-reviewed study that analyzed 10 years of incidents related to dog bite-related fatalities identified multiple factors associated with DBRFs,
Which is the incident.
dog bite-related fatalities, and specifically concluded that breed was not one of these factors.
The study also concluded that media reports on bite-related incidents are prone to significant breed identification error rates of over 40%, and that a valid breed determination was possible in only 17% of all incidences. So when they say it's a pit bull, 9 times out of 10 it's not a pit bull.
When I was 7, I was bit by a dog, frickin' German Shepherd. So it really doesn't even matter. I mean, it just depends on, like, this dog was territorial. I was riding my friend's bike and it was like, whoa, where are you going with that? Took a bite out of my leg. So it has nothing to do with the breed. Furthermore, after analyzing a number of scientific sources and numerous peer-reviewed studies, the American Veterinary Medical Association concluded controlled studies have not identified this breed group, pit bulls, as disproportionately dangerous.
Data sourced from the peer-reviewed study conducted by the CDC that analyzed 20 years of dog bite-related incidences substantiates the DBRF risk rate for pit bull type dogs is fully in line with the risk rates for other strong breeds.
The CDC study also identified over 25 breeds associated with DBRFs. Furthermore, more recent incident data shows that at least 37 different breeds have been involved in fatal dog attacks in the U.S. since only 2016, confirming that serious dog bite-related incidents are not a breed-specific issue, while also validating the importance of comprehensive breed-neutral regulations for public safety.
A recent peer-reviewed study that analyzed the accuracy of visual breed identification concluded that pit bull type dogs are misidentified 60% of the time.
Another major peer-reviewed study on canine DNA concluded that the majority of pit bull type dogs are in fact mixed breed dogs with less than 50% DNA from any pit bull type ancestry.
Like I said, most of the time pit bulls that we see are not even the original pit bulls. Therefore, the breed data in media reports and elsewhere assigned to the majority of incidences describing pit bull type dogs cannot be used as a reliable or scientific source to breed information or for breed information.
Consequently, unreliable breed identification methods are a common cause of inaccurate statistics and incorrect breed information in media reports.
There is no such thing as a locking jaw. No dogs of any breed or type have a physical characteristic in their jaw that would cause or allow them to lock their jaws.
It's impossible. Like if
bullshit.
you look at a canine's mouth, any canine's mouth, they don't have a mechanism that pops into place. If that were possible, they wouldn't come unlocked.
Their jaws are stronger because they're more muscular, but also it's probably because they're so lean of an animal. Like their body type is meant to be more lean and more slick. And they don't have as much hair. So I mean, your German Shepherd probably is just as muscular. He's got a lot of hair.
I can't see it.
Let's see.
There is no such thing.
Yeah, there's
The two.
no. You have the highlight.
I just read that.
I just read that.
Oh. Furthermore, pit bull type dogs do not have the strongest bite. Bear with me, I've been sick.
A recent peer-reviewed study that analyzed 140 serious dog bite-related incidents has concluded that there is no difference in the medical treatment required following a bite or in the type of bite inflicted between a dog bites of breeds perceived as dangerous, legislated breeds such as pit bull breeds, and breeds that are not perceived as dangerous, non-legislated breeds.
Can you speak?
Bleeds, apparently.
Funny. Several peer-reviewed studies, Frontiers in Veterinary Science and Journal of Anatomy, have concluded that the strength of a dog's bite is related to a dog's overall size and strength, and not to its breed.
A recent peer-reviewed study that analyzed canine aggression in different breeds concluded that there was no significant difference in aggression between legislated breeds such as pit bull type dogs and the non-legislated control group, golden retrievers.
There are 0 scientific peer-reviewed studies that conclude that only one breed or type of dog is inherently more dangerous than any other breed.
However, multiple peer-reviewed studies have concluded that breed does not determine risk and that pit bull type dogs are not more dangerous than other breeds of similar size and strength.
All breeds are known to snap or bite without warning, causing bite-related incidents. That's not true, though, in every case, because most dogs will growl before and bare their teeth. And if you're not paying attention, you might not realize that they did those things, but...
I mean, if you're aggressive towards your dog, or yelling at your dog all the time...
You can't expect it to just not retaliate.
It's just like a kid, you can't treat the kid like shit or somebody and expect them not to eventually.
Snap.
We all have a snapping point. The fact that their peer-reviewed study conducted by the CDC that analyzed 20 years of dog bites-related incidences, the majority, 72% of dogs bite-related fatalities, were attributed to non-pit bull type breeds.
All breeds can unfortunately have individual unstable dogs that are typically associated with the dog bite related incidents. No breeds are immune from this.
According to the latest ATTS-3 temperament test data, the breeds that are commonly classified as the modern pit bull type breeds continue to achieve excellent temperament scores, scoring in the top 23% of all breeds and higher than 100 of the 130 breeds tested.
Not only did pit bull type dogs consistently achieve excellent temperament scores, they were successful as service dogs, therapy dogs, canine police dogs, and as family pets.
Pit bull type dogs are growing in popularity and are by far the most popular strong breed dog in the U.S. In fact, an estimated 20% of dogs in the U.S. can be classified as pit bull type dogs. Pit bull type dogs wouldn't be this popular if they didn't have an excellent temperament, making them outstanding canine citizens, and loved family pets in millions of households.
A recent peer-reviewed study concluded that media reports on bite-related incidents are prone to significant breed identification error rates of over 40%, and that valid breed determination was possible in only 17% of all incidents. Because there's some dogs that look like pit bulls, or types of pit bulls, but they aren't.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times they're identified as pit bulls, but they're
Even
not.
some labs can look like pits.
You shave a German Shepherd as its hair is starting to grow back, it kind of looks like a pit bull too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Another peer-reviewed study that analyzed the accuracy of visual breed identification concluded that pit bull type dogs were misidentified 60% of the time. Consequently, inaccurate visual breed identification methods are a common cause of inaccurate breed information in media reports.
A peer-reviewed study concluded that the majority of pit bull type dogs are in fact mixed breed dogs with less than 50% DNA from any pit bull type ancestry. I thought we've read that like 4 or 5 times
I'm
now.
gonna say
Isn't that the same thing?
wow. Okay then.
We just keep repeating it.
I guess. Therefore, the majority of dogs identified as pit bulls in media report are not pit bull type. What the heck? That like.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. What the heck?
Sorry guys, we're having issues. This is the exact same thing. Read that one.
The fact is that because the term pit bull is not a breed but instead a term used to describe a type of dog, loosely based on only its physical appearance, the term pit bull is commonly used by the media as a blanket term to report dog bite-related incidences when the breed is not fully known, when the breed is mixed, or when the dog is misidentified due to inaccurate and visual identification methods.
Furthermore, the vast majority of media reports on bite-related incidents describe situations that confirm what a recent peer-reviewed study concluded, that factors associated with irresponsible ownership and not the dog's breed were the primary cause of the incident.
Irresponsible ownership is a precursor to increased risk when the strong dogs of any breed, as evidenced by a 20-year peer-reviewed study that found the majority, 72% of dog bites-related fatalities attributed to non-pit bull type breeds.
While there are over 20 different breeds and many mixed breeds with similar physical characteristics as pit bull type dogs, the breeds below, and specifically their many mixes, are just a few of the unique breeds frequently misunderstood as pit bull type dogs because of their appearance.
These breeds are larger and less common than the pit bull type breeds and are not classified as pit bull type breeds by any canine organizations. Most are members of the working group of dog breeds. Some examples are Bull Mastiff, Doggo, Argentino, American Bulldog, and King Corso.
Pit bull breeds have become famous for their roles as soldiers, police dogs, search and rescue dogs, actors, television personalities, seeing eye dogs, and celebrity pets.
Vin Diesel.
This thing.
Vin Diesel has a King Corso. It's really.
Oh,
I'll have to add a picture.
apparently I can't sit on these things for very long.
Pit
No
bull-
stools.
Pit bull breeds have become famous for their roles as soldier. Oh wait, you read that with me.
Yeah.
Pete the pup from the movie series The Little Rascals, an American Staffordshire Terrier, is a historically well-known pit bull.
Lesser known but still historically notable pit bulls include Billie Holiday's companion, Mr.
Lesser known but still
No.
Helen Keller's dog, Sir Thomas.
Buster Brown's dog, Tiger?
I guess,
I'm thinking it's Tiger.
but it's Tige.
I'm thinking somebody made a typo somewhere.
Horatio Jackson's dog, Bud.
President Theodore Roosevelt's pit bull terrier, Pete.
Jack Brutus, who served for Company K.
The 1st Connecticut Volunteer Infantry during the Civil War.
Sergeant Stubby, who served for the 102nd Infantry, 28th Yankee Division in World War
26th Yankee Division.
during World War I.
Sir Walter Scott's Wasp. Sir Dog Wasp.
Let's see. Contemporary significant pit bulls are Wheela, who helped save 32 people, 29 dogs, 3 horses, and 1 cat during Southern California's widespread flooding in 1993.
Popsicle, a 5-month-old puppy originally found nearly dead in a freezer, grew up to become one of the nation's most important police dogs. Popsicle.
That's kind of sad because he was found in a freezer.
Popsicle.
That's messed up. Norton was placed in the Purina Animal Hall of Fame after he rescued his owner from a severe reaction to a spider bite.
Ooh. Titan, who rescued his owner's wife, who would have died from an aneurysm.
D-Boy, who took 3 bullets to save his family from an intruder with a gun.
Star, who, while protecting her owner, was shot by police in a video that went viral.
Lily, who lost a leg after being struck by a freight train while pulling her unconscious owner from the train tracks.
Daddy, Caesar Milan's right-hand dog, was famous for his mellow temperament and his ability to interact calmly with ill-mannered dogs.
As a result of the trouble with some pit bulls, many places passed the
Laws restricting.
restricting or totally banning the breed. Lots of apartments do.
Unfortunately, there was some doubt as to what the breed was, so anything that even looked a bit like a pit bull terrier became suspect. That resulted in 2 major problems.
Problem 1 is that in many areas, people could be fined or arrested for owning pit bulls, even responsibly.
They could also lose their home, owner's insurance, or have a number of other problems such as suspicious neighbors.
Even people who had non-pit bull breeds sometimes ran into trouble because their dogs looked slightly like pit bulls.
Also, many shelters began killing anything they suspected was a pit bull or pit bull mix, regardless of the dog's temperament. Which is bullcrap.
Okay, problem 2 is that due to the fear of pit bulls and the owners' fears of repercussions for owning them, pit bull registries experience a major drop.
People were just too afraid to register their dogs, which has made it almost impossible to trace the bloodlines of many dogs.
In fact, of all the breeds that are accepted by kennel clubs, the American Pit Bull Terrier is the one that is least registered.
Please don't judge a dog by their looks, but how they are raised.
What should we do next? Like and subscribe. Have you guys ever owned a pit bull? Also, one thing that I read too was back when the pit bull started kind of getting a bad rep they actually took a bunch of them out and killed them on the street because they were a pit bull. Anyway, just food for thought. Like and subscribe. See you guys later.